You know how important relationships are, and relationships are the foundation of interactions. You've had me for CD7, then we go over that extensively, and in every other class, you look at the emotional support, the emotional and, what is it? Emotional, social, goodness gracious. Social and emotional support is the most important. Can children learn cognitively if there's no emotional and social support? No, remember, that is the foundation of all learning, is that social and emotional support. So we're going to take a look at the research, and this is important because when you choose to use a tool for assessment, is it good to know that that tool is based on what the research says? Yes, looking at the research and knowing that the tool is based on research makes it what? What's the other word that we learned? It measures what it says it's going to measure. So this says it's going to measure environments based on the research. So that makes it what? It measures what it says it's going to measure. Valid, right. It makes it valid. So that's why we're taking a look at the research, because you need to know you are using a tool that is reliable and that is valid. Okay, is that important to know? Yes, because you're basing decisions on how you interact with young children, what emotional support you give them based off of this tool. That's why it's really important to understand, and why we don't just arbitrarily pick up any tool that we print off of Google when we're going to assess children. Does it make a difference? The quality of the tool? Very much so. So effective teacher-child interactions are an active and crucial ingredients for children's social and academic development. That's not new news to you, is it? Say, no, I'm an advanced student. Duh, I understand that. Children in ECE settings are not consistently exposed to effective child and teacher-child interactions. This is probably not new news to you. Do we have high-quality child care universally available to young children? No. Say our child care is pretty sucky in the United States, right? This is not new news to you also. Most children are not given a high-quality early ed experience. And a lot of it is because interactions are bad. I mean, it boils down to the interactions. To maximize the impact for children, quality improvements efforts need to focus explicitly, so solely, on teacher-child interactions. We focus on making sure that we have the best curriculum, that we have school readiness, that we have the best flashcards, that we have the best environment, and yet how much is focused on the interactions between the child and the teacher? This is typically the last thing that's addressed, and yet it is the most important thing that's addressed. So we find this fancy new curriculum, we buy all the cool things off of Community Playthings, and yet our center is still horrid. Why? Because the interactions are still horrible. It doesn't matter what else you have. If your interactions aren't good, then nothing else is important. Carefully designed and implemented professional development support can improve the quality of teacher-child interactions. So you need education. You can't just say, I'm just going to be better at managing 24 preschoolers and providing them emotional support. That is not how it works. We're not born understanding how to manage a room full of 12 to 24 preschoolers. This is why you have to have education. Is it hard? How many of you have been in a room with 12 to 24, 2 to 5-year-olds? Do you get a little frazzled? Do you get a little saying things you should not say? Do you get snappy? Are you perhaps not as emotionally and socially supportive as you should be? Yes, that's why we are educated on better ways to do it. It does not come naturally. Okay? This is a misnomer that we all of a sudden, because we're people that are in early education, we're automatically nice and kind and patient. It is not the truth. Okay? It takes education. But this is why it's not focused in on, because we think this is a personality trait. If you're nice and you're kind, then you're good to go. And that's not the truth. You need education on how to manage a group full of screaming, yelling at you children.